Hello and welcome to this video where we're going to be analysing a song that I'm currently working on. So this video is actually from my music theory course. To gain access to this full course, just check out the link in the description below. Okay, now let's analyse another track. So this is another song that I'm currently working on, and it really has two main sections. It has this kind of A section, which is the one in green, and the B section, which is in blue. Then it has this breakdown, which is a new version of the A section, then it goes back to the B section. So let's just have a listen to the song, and then we're going to go through and analyse this track, and then I'll show you exactly how and why I created this music. Okay, and then the song continues with a breakdown, which is the same chords as the A section, this green section. And then we have another chorus, which is this blue section. So we actually start off the song with the bass part from the chorus. So this is so I can hint to the listener that this will come later on. So this is going to be the chorus. So this song is actually called Floating. I wanted something that was quite airy, mysterious, but quite light at the same time. And let's first of all have a look at the bass part. So we have four notes at the start. We have this F that goes up to a G. Then we have an E flat that goes up to an F. So it's going up to the second. And then we have a C, which goes to an E flat. And then we have a B flat that has this passing note of C and then E flat. So that's the bass part. And then after this, we go to just the first chord, which is this F repeated. So it's F, and then it has the note of a G, which is really just a passing note. So just repeats this for the verse. And the key of this song is actually, if you notice here, it isn't F. It isn't F major or F minor. Because we've got this G here, it's F major, but it's not quite F major. We also have an E flat. And the key we're actually in is F mixolydian. So we have a B flat and an E flat, but the root note is the F. And if you remember the modes, mixolydian is the fifth one along. So in the key of B flat, we have a B flat and an E flat, and the fifth note along is an F. So it's actually the notes of B flat major, but rooting around F. So it's in F mixolydian. The reason I wanted to have this in F mixolydian is just to make it sound a little bit different from a major or a minor scale. Going along, we have this bass part that just repeats the first chord over and over again for the verse. So it's just this F that goes up to G. So for the bass part, we just repeat the F. And we also have a G passing note. And let's have a look at this chord that enters here, this pluck sound. So you can see here, we have a G, a B flat, and a C. So this is actually used as an arpeggiator, so it will play one note after another. And let's just solo this and have a listen to this arpeggiator. Okay, and then if we add the bass part, It's not the easiest to hear because it is on a synthesizer. However, this isn't a regular chord. If we go to the piano, we have the F from the bass, and then the notes here we have a G, a B flat, and also a C. So this chord is being played over and over again. So this isn't an F major, it isn't an F minor, it's a different chord really. We haven't got the third. We're using this fourth instead of the third, so it's a sus chord. And we're also playing the second. So this chord is actually a F sus 4 9. Let's just write it in here. So this is a F9 sus 4 is the way to write it. So it basically means it's an F and it's playing a 9, in this case a G, and it's playing a sus 4, so it's playing the B flat instead of this A. So this just adds a bit of tension. It really wants to resolve and go to the F. However, none of the chords actually resolve into the chorus because it's just this one chord going over and over again to add a bit of tension, to add a bit of suspense. And then we have this other chord part that enters. Let's just solo this. So this is actually playing the notes F, G, and B flat. So we have the sus4 here again, but also on top it's adding other notes as well. So it's adding this D to the chord. So if we play this chord now, we have the F, we have the G, we have the B flat, and we have a D. So we're adding this 6 as well. So this chord is kind of changed to an F9 13 sus 4, kind of a complex chord. Really, it's an F in the bass, and then we have this 9, the G, and then we have the B flat because it's a sus chord. And then we also have this D, which is the 6. So it's kind of a G minor in the right hand, but with an F. This is just to add tension because this isn't a really clear chord. This doesn't really resolve. It sounds a bit strange, and yeah, the reason I've got this is so when the chorus enters, you know it's the chorus, you know it's built up. And then also going along, we add this E flat here. So the second chord adds this E flat. So the first one has this 6, and the next one has this note that isn't actually in the F major scale. So now we're adding the -7. So this one now will be an F7 sus 4. Maybe you could even call it add 9. So yeah, these chords are getting quite complex. I won't get too caught up on the exact names. I just want to explain what's going on. So we have this F. We're playing the sus 4 instead of the third, and then we're adding the 9 here, this G, and then I'm playing the -7th, and then we're going up to the F and going back down to this one. So it kind of doesn't really resolve, but it kind of has less tension here when it goes up to the F. So it just goes really to the original chord. So this is now the third chord when this enters. Then the fourth chord's this one again. So really the first half of the verse is this chord here, which is this F9 sus 4. And then when this new sequence enters, we kind of bring in these new notes here, kind of make it even more complex. If this seems like another language to you, don't worry, just realize we're just extending the chord. We're just changing a few notes in the chord. Okay, and now let's have a look at the melody. So that's the melody for the verse over this chord, the F9 sus 4. So we have an F, which obviously is the root. And we go down to this E flat here. So this really isn't actually an F9 sus 4. So now we know that this melody has actually changed it to this F7 because we're introducing this E flat again. So this song can be a little complex at times. It doesn't sound like it, but when you go through and you analyze the notes, you realize we're actually playing in the Mixolydian mode, and we've actually got some kind of different chords going on to add some extensions. And then we have the F, and then we go to the E flat again, which is the minor 7th. And then we go to the C, which is the 5th. Then we go to the G, which is the 9th, and then we go to the F again. So we're not playing the 3rd anywhere. We're not giving the listener the 3rd, which is what they really want. They want it to resolve into the 3rd note of the triad, and we're not giving them that. Instead, what we're doing is we're giving them this E flat, which turns it into the Mixolydian mode. So that's really the verse. It's quite complex. And then we go to the chorus where we have a new chord progression. So the chorus, we have a few other chords. Let's just have a look at this now. So we have the F, then we go to an E flat, and then we go to a C, and then we go to a B flat. So let's just write that in. So the chorus, we have an F, then we have an E flat, then we have a C, then we have a B flat. So in the chorus, we have F, E flat, C, and B flat. Now let's find out the rest of the notes that are going on in this. So let's just have a look at the plot here. So in the first chord, we get an F, a C, and then an A flat. We finally resolved it. So in the chorus, it resolves. We're not playing the sus4. We do resolve with the 3rd. So the first chord is a F minor, which is why the chorus sounds so nice, because it finally resolves. So the second chord, we have an F, a C, and a B flat. So this, over the root note E flat, so this kind of gives us a E flat 6, because we're adding this C, which is the 6th note of the E flat major scale. And then going along, we have this F, B flat, and C. So F, B flat, and C, and then we have a C in the bass. So here we go, we have a sus4 chord again. So it's a C7, because it has this B flat, which is a minor 7th. So we have C7 sus4, so kind of still unusual. We have a bit of tension here. And will it resolve with the last chord, which is a B flat? So we have a B flat in the bass, then we have an E flat, then we have a G, and then we have a B flat as well. So here, so this doesn't resolve either. We have a sus4 again, sus4 add 6. So yeah, it's a little bit unusual. So we have a B flat, sus4, add 6. So that means we're playing the B flat. Sus4 means we're not playing the 3rd, we're playing the 4th, which is an E flat. Then we're playing the 6, which is this G. It's not really add 6 because we're not playing the F, so it could be a B flat 6 sus4. It really depends on how you want to write it, but I wouldn't get too caught up on writing these. It's more about understanding what's actually going on. But then it does resolve back to this F minor. Then we go to this E flat 6, and then the C7 sus4, and then the B flat sus4 with a 6. So that's really the chords in the chorus. It's quite complex as well. It sounds like quite an easy, light song, but when you analyze it, there is quite a lot going on. Because I did want this to sound kind of mysterious and uneasy. I felt like I wanted it to sound like I was floating in the end. You're not sure if you're going to fall at any point. So you're enjoying the floating. It's so much fun, but at the same time, you're quite uneasy. So that was the vision I had when I was writing these chords. Then we have this arpeggio here, which is playing a C, a B flat, and an F. So we're kind of adding some notes to this F minor here as well. We're adding this B flat, so we're kind of changing this to an 11th, or adding an 11, because we're adding this B flat. Then we have the E flat, then the C. We have the sus4 again with the F, and then the B flat. We have the sus4 with the E flat. So we're kind of changing the F as well. You could say F minor add 11 if you really wanted to go dig deep and just write it out properly. However, I wouldn't worry too much. A lot of this is about training your ear and actually knowing what's going on rather than writing out the chords exactly how they should be. Okay, and then that's kind of it for the chorus. And then we have, apart from this lead section above, so let's just hear this with the lead section. So the first part there. So with the first two chords, so the first one we have the F, so we have the F, and then we have we go to the E flat again. So we could change this chord again if we really wanted to. So it could be an F minor 7 because we're playing the 7th note here. And then we go to this E flat. So we're playing an F over this E flat. So it could be E flat 6 add 9 if we wanted to really make it complex. So we're playing an F over this E flat. And then we're playing this B flat as well, which is the 5th of E flat. And then up to the C, which is the 6th. And then we play the C here. So we have the sus4, the F. Then we have the 7th, which is the 7th, and up to the C. And then for the B flat, we're playing a G, which in B flat is the 6th. So we've got the add 6 here. And then we go down to the 5th. So these are the chords. It can be pretty complex. Don't worry too much if you don't know how to write this out exactly. It's just more about understanding what notes are there and why this sounds a little bit different. So hopefully now when you listen to the song, it might sound different to when you first heard it because you can hear the tension, you can hear the build up from the verse. And then when the chorus kicks in and we get that release from that minor, we finally got the third in the chord. So let's just have a listen to this track again and hopefully it might sound a little bit different to you now. Okay, so that's really the chords, harmony, and melody of this track. Of course, there are a lot more things as well, like arrangement, sound design, and rhythms, but that's the harmony, the chords, and the melody of this track. I hope you found this analysis useful, and thank you for watching this lecture, and I'll talk to you soon. So thank you for watching this video. This video was taken from my music theory course. To gain access to this full course, then be sure to check out the link in the description below.